Is it possible for the Western Cape to become an independent state? There are at least two political parties campaigning for the upcoming elections on a single issue, Cape independence. But is the promise that the Western Cape could secede from the rest of South Africa actually based on fact? Both the Cape Independence Party and the Referendum Party have been promising the South African electorate that a vote for their parties could lead to a referendum which could ultimately trigger the Western Cape leaving the rest of the country. The Cape Exit campaign dates back to 2007, but it's only in recent years that it has begun sustained political organizing.
Imagine waking up every day in a free country where you feel safe and secure. Be careful. They'll say you're a dreamer.
Yes, but I'm not the only one.
The Cape Independence Party won 19,000 votes in the 2021 local government elections, enough for 2 seats in the Cape Town Council. The basic theory of the campaign is that the Western Cape is being held back from achieving its full economic and social potential through its political and legal attachment to the rest of the country. It has also been accused of dog whistle racism for pointing to the Western Cape's racial mix-up as proof that the province is, quote, just different. I'm Rebecca Davis, senior journalist for the Daily Maverick. Advocates of Cape secession point to the fact that the most recent opinion poll undertaken by Victory Research into whether residents of the Western Cape want the province to secede have returned results suggesting a majority is in favor. It should be noted, however, that the sample size of this poll was very small. But regardless of the popularity of the idea or its merits, are the pro-independence parties promising something that is actually legally viable? Political party the Freedom Front Plus believes so. In an opinion piece in February 2024, the party's Western Cape leader Corne Mulder wrote, quote, "Are more powers for the Western Cape, which could lead to Cape secession, unfeasible and impossible? Don't believe it for one moment. We are in Africa, and here anything is possible." But more powers for the Western Cape is a very different proposition to full secession. The DA has been pushing for the adoption of the Western Cape Provincial Powers Bill, which it says would give the province greater autonomy to improve service delivery without necessitating the province leaving the country. Legal experts say not so fast. Even the idea of devolving certain core government functions to provinces is unlikely to pass constitutional muster. UCT law professor Pierre de Vos has previously written that a constitutional amendment would probably be necessary for the province to take over policing functions, for instance. As for the plan for the Western Cape to secede, the first step, its advocates say, is to hold a referendum on the matter. It may actually be legally permissible for the president or the premier to call a referendum on a certain issue. But even if they do so, the results are not binding in any way. They can simply be ignored. Furthermore, as Pierre de Vos has written elsewhere, quote, "Questions of secession are not a provincial matter. They are a national matter. Only the national executive and the national parliament can legally bring about secession through, among others, amendment of the constitution. It is simply impossible to imagine a world in which South African law and politics line up to enable one of the 9 provinces to assert itself as a separate country, especially since even parties like the DA do not support the idea. As such, the Cape Exit parties appear to be selling voters pipe dreams."